Welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn. Yes. And we're back with our Married at First Sight review for the season finale. It is Decision Day.
Decision Day. Dum 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 dum.
Decision Day. Okay, so, I don't even want to talk about what they talked about. I decided that I'm not going to say, well, this one said that, well, maybe just a little bit. We're going to talk about our feelings. This is a feelings episode.
The feelings episode, because she felt some type of way after this episode.
Feelings episode. Oh, you don't even know the half. Wait till I tell you how I really feel. Okay, so let's start with our favorite. Our favorite. They did not let us down tonight. I'm so excited that Deonna and Greg decided to stay together. Oh my gosh. I didn't expect anything else. And plus, they had leaked a little, they didn't leak it. They did it on purpose.
A preview.
They previewed it, so we already knew that Greg was going to say yes. And I knew there was no way after Greg saying yes that Deonna would say no. It's impossible. It was impossible. No.
But you gotta look at them throughout the season. The only argument they could really find was the fact that she's like, "Oh, you manscaping me? You whatever she said."
Mansplaining. Not manscaping.
You know.
Mansplaining.
You mansplaining me? What?
And he was just playing. They were both like, they both talked about the overthinking, but they talked about how much they had grown, and they really had. And Deonna answered the question, Pastor Cal was like, are you growing in love? And she says, I'm growing in love. And Greg said, I'm growing in love too. And he was like, that's all I expect.
Look, they grew over the show. Let's see, he became adventurous.
Yes.
She became more open.
Yes.
She brought him a big cookie.
Yes.
She enjoyed his family, enjoyed his friends. He enjoyed her family and friends.
Yeah.
They enjoyed each other. They learned how to communicate with one another. They learned how to be married and be in a marriage. They're still working on that. As much as you can in 8 weeks. So they're still working on that. But for what we saw in the 8 weeks with them two, you can just imagine their relationship is going to grow. I'm interested to see the reunion, which is 2 months after Decision Day.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how they continue to grow and how they continue to be together. Both of them professional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see who house they go live in. Do they live in Greg's house?
Oh, they're going to Greg's big family-ready house. That's where they're going.
And you just gotta move in there. So I think this couple was easy, and I like that the producer started with this couple because I think everyone knew that if you watch the show long enough, or you watch this season,
you knew they were going to stay together.
You knew something really was going to have to happen for them not to stay together. So like a bombshell. And once we didn't get the bombshell in last week's episode, it was almost a given, done deal, close it up, nail in the coffin, whatever you want to say, that Deonna and Greg was going to stay together.
And the experts were so happy, and I was so happy
enough that Pastor Cal got a drink.
Don't stop it. He would have had champagne anyway. But they were like, okay, this is what we expected. Yes, right on. It was just like, yes, congratulations.
They was happy for them because Dr. Pepper, which we didn't see much this season, but when we did see her, she was very important. She was like excited for these two because they felt like these two, when they matched together, was a good fit. They complimented each other. They was willing to conversate, and they communicated. And that was the key for their relationship. They was able to talk, and Greg knew how to work with Deonna even when she got in her feelings, even when she put on her flannel pajamas and went to bed. He still was able to work through those things and navigate. And Deonna knew how she could challenge Greg and make him come out and be more competitive in what he likes to do, even with his 50 million compliments. By the way, I like you. You like you in your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
You look so studious.
You know what? I cannot.
They knew how to deal with each other. So I like Deonna and Greg, and I think they would stay together for a long time.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm so excited. Okay, so where do we want to go next? Okay, let's go to the next obvious
next
thing.
obvious.
The next obvious thing. Who you knew was not going to stay together.
I don't know. I can't say we knew. There was some people who really thought that Amber had a little bit of like.
No. Oh yeah, we meant to tell y'all. Spoiler alert. Yeah. I hope you're watching this after you watch the episode.
Yeah, it's spoiler alert.
This is a spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. That somehow we knew Amber was gonna have some type of hesitation. I'm so,
but she been so suckerish. She been such a sucker. She's just a sucker. The whole season, and it's just so emotional. And I just really want to be with him. I just really, cause that's the part that I was like, she might say yes when she was like, I don't know why, I just like him. I just want to be with him. I just like him so much. But I have so much joy in the fact that she really appreciated her friend's words. And we found out on the episode it wasn't just her friend Raven. Oh my gosh, what a shocker. They pulled, now see, we talked about Amber going to school and doing this relationship thing. And we talked about the kids. But little did we know her co-worker, she said her co-worker was friends with a chick that Matt tried to pick up and was texted.
And she screenshotted the text message.
Screenshotted, timestamp. And lo and behold, he was texting this chick when he was on the way to his childhood home. You jerk. You're
all
such
the way to the childhood home. Matt over there like, no wonder Matt said he doesn't want kids for like 8 years. Because he knew he wasn't going to be with Amber. It always come together.
Oh, he's such a jerk.
He didn't.
Oh my gosh.
But I think that was the overboard for her. I think that was really took her over when her friends started to find out about what her husband was doing.
They pulled her in. I'm sorry, I gotta go back to this. Her co-workers pulled her in a room, and she was so. I'd be so embarrassed. I would have immediately. I don't know when this happened. I promise you, I would have came home and said, "Look here."
She couldn't wait till she didn't have any PTO days. It wasn't spring break or summertime where you can just get away. But she had to deal with that at work, and not only deal with it at work, but she had to deal with it from her friends Raven. So we know the coworkers were talking about, "I saw your husband out," or "Your husband cheating," and he didn't deny it. It's just the thing. He didn't even deny. He was like, I felt like we were friends at one point, and we was dating,
and we was just dating, and it's been a hard process for me. Blah blah blah. You didn't even try. You didn't even try, bruh.
Pastor Cal looked like he wanted to do.
Oh, he wanted to jump and just chop him in his daggone throat. I wanted to chop him in his throat. Like you loser, you. I mean, you had this girl crying. But obviously, I don't know if y'all know this word. She's obviously got emotional. She's emotionally labile. I mean, she cries at the drop of a hat. I mean, but still, dude.
And then she was still giving them the goodies.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
The cookies.
I know some people do this, but I was like, Matt, you talking about? I just felt like we had a friendship. And you still went and laid the pipe. Every chance you got. We are not. We buddies. You know.
Hey,
people.
Hold on. He can't lay what she don't give him. But this dude stayed out for days at a time, and she literally said, "I just want him to be home so he can hug me and hold me."
But yeah.
After he hugging and holding somebody else.
I mean, but on the flip side, she didn't know all that he was doing necessarily.
Her intuition should have told her that he was out there with someone.
You stole that from Barbara.
Her intuition should have told her that he was out there with somebody.
See, it's called intuition.
Intuition.
But what it really is your inner wishing. Because your inner be wishing that you'll catch him. Your inner be wishing
that it
ain't true. Your inner be wishing. But your mind is telling you that's what it is, fool, and your inner be like, but I just don't want to believe it. The inner you just don't want to believe it. Sucker. You big sucker.
Raven put her over the top. When Raven told her, she knew it. She was like, it was true. When Raven told her,
it is. And she didn't even get this was without the confirmation.
Yeah.
But she explained that some more too. She was like, no, Raven was around for a long time and watched them. And it was a crowd of people. And when the crowd disappeared, he was still with her. Raven was like, bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It ain't.
Yeah. So she decided to end it, and I kind of the way the production was put together, like she might say yes, and then when she said no, you knew Matt was gonna say no. I mean, I don't think Matt was gonna say yes after she said after she said no. So it's a
But I really do think, me personally, I think if she had said yes,
Matt would say yes.
He would have said yes like a dummy. Like
maybe he had no place to live, nowhere to go. Maybe he couldn't.
He really don't have nowhere to live now.
He can't go back to the apartment.
He can go to his friend's house. He been hanging out all daggone.
Maybe go to Shorty's house. But we'll get to that Matt a little bit later with the rest when everybody get together. But what was interesting was Matt and Amber. You know, if you saw Amber's reaction, go back and watch it if you didn't. Matt was standing there like for a hug, and she just went and hugged Dr. Vivian.
Amber, you a girl after my own heart, because we about to talk about that again too. But I'd have been like, hey, look, bruh, homie, no, thank you. You can keep your hug. No thanks.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed enough. I ain't getting ready to do it again.
But Matt was ready to move on. He walked out and he was ready. He was ready to move on. So he moved on, and Amber moved on as well. So we're gonna go to. Are you ready to talk?
Oh no.
Are you calmed down yet?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. So let's talk about
Beth and Elizabeth.
No, Jamie. Beth is Elizabeth.
Oh, Jamie.
Jamie and Elizabeth. Or Liz. Or Beth. Since somebody tried to say that her name was Liz. No, it's Elizabeth. And she goes by Beth. And Jamie tried to be funny and said, if your family calls you that, I'm going to call you Liz. Yeah. But he didn't. So, for the smart aleck in the comments.
But anyway, Beth and Jamie, they get there and they talk about all the issues they was having, and she talked about all the problems, and Jamie talked about the sex thing again.
And you called me out my name, and I mean all the low blows, and she didn't say I never been hurt like that before. She didn't say it like that, but she was like, we've had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and I felt like I had a little glimmer of hope that she might be like, you know what, enough is enough. But
she said yes. It wasn't like the way she was setting up in production, and she was like, yes, no, maybe we done did this, and this, but I still want to marry you. I still want to be with you. I felt kind of disappointed and cheated. Like, you still want to be in this relationship?
Why?
But you said something that was key. Maybe production produced it that way for us to see their bad side and more of their bad than their good.
I just can't imagine that if most days were like what we saw from them, that they would have still said yes. It had to be way more good than we got to see.
Yeah.
I think I said that in one of our other episodes, that because it's TV, it's reality TV, they want to give you some explosions, and I think they gave them plenty to work with, and they just really focused on that more than anything.
She gave them a lot to work with.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, and so I think they took advantage of. They baited us with it. Let's see what explosion's gonna pop off this episode. Let's see what's gonna happen this time.
And one thing I said about Jamie said he came into the experiment wholehearted. Yeah. He wanted to be married. He likes Beth. He enjoys Beth's company, and that they need to work on some things, but he couldn't see basically his life without Beth right now. And so they decided to stay married. Now, whether they be married at the reunion or not, that's a whole different story.
We don't bet.
Yeah.
But between the two of us, we wager that when it comes to the reunion, they probably won't be together.
Yeah, I think they might have another major blow up, and he might have left, or something that transpired that Jamie may not be there when it's all said and done.
Because it won't be the first time. It won't be the first time somebody said, let's stay together, and then they come back to the reunion and they're not together anymore. So that's what we think is going to happen with Jamie and Elizabeth.
Let us know what you think in the comment section. Okay. We enjoyed Jamie and Elizabeth. I think hopefully they stay married together. I think they could be together. I think they need some counseling. I think she needs to leave the moon water alone. She needs to leave the salt alone.
And the tarot
cards alone. She needs to leave the sage alone.
Because it did not work in her favor.
Every time she did one of those things,
it got more messed up.
It got messed up. So if she leave all that alone and trust the dogs, let the dogs, they like Jamie. Yeah, go ahead and work out. And leave it, let her dad. Which in this episode, in this season, we didn't see her dad involved after the first episode that much. So that which is good. And take the advice from the experts. Constantly see the experts. Go get some more counseling. That's what I like to see after 8 weeks. These couples get some more one-on-one counseling and really slow things down, as Dr. Cal said. Now life begins. The cameras are gone. Yeah. You're going to have to really make a decision. You're going to have to move out of the apartment, move into somebody's house. Y'all going to have to put your money together. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to put your families really together, and you're really going to do what you want to do other than what the producers and everybody else is telling you to do. So this is when life actually began for these couples. And
I mean, they might really be like AJ and his wife. Lord, I can't think of her name right now. But for him, the cameras and stuff were just like a irritant. Mm-hmm. And apparently they did a lot better once the cameras disappeared. Yeah. So maybe all those flare-ups and stuff, it was instigated by the cameras and being there and knowing that people are looking in. It might have heightened their thing. And once the cameras go away, they might be more calm. You know, shoot, they might have been putting on a show. You know, you never know. Okay, so to our last couple, and I think it's ironic. I told you that I wore black.
You wore black
because I'm in mourning.
Don't mourn too hard, because I think there's gonna be a resurrection.
Listen, but I'm in mourning, okay? Because you know I'm not that kind of person, but I literally want to turn the TV over. I wanted to throw the remote at the TV, and I wanted it riled up some things in me. I wanted to let some words go that I have not let go in years. I was so disgusted.
I don't think you was the only one disgusted. I think Pastor Cal was disgusted. Dr. Pepper was disgusted. Dr. Viviana was disgusted. I wasn't
disgusted and disappointed. Okay, so I'm just because obviously we're talking about Keith and Iris. Mm-hmm. I'm not over it yet. I'm in mourning. I just
we're taping this fresh, so y'all know the emotions is real.
It's still raw.
It's still raw for her. It's still raw. For me, let me start while you get your emotions in check.
I can't.
I thought there was a possibility that I thought Keith would say no. Especially talking to his mother. I mentioned in the last week's episode, he didn't talk to a man. He has not talked to any men.
And once again,
no advice from the men. He talked to his mother the day of decision day. Now, we didn't hear the whole conversation. Keith, where's your father? Where's a man in your life to tell to you, boy, look, this young lady who has a good job, who is doing well, the only issue she has is she a virgin. She may be a little bit immature, but she hasn't had anything to deal with it. As a husband, be a leader. Yes. As a husband, be a provider. As a husband, nurture. As a husband, teach her how to be intimate. And it's not just necessarily sex. You take the lead. We didn't see him take the lead in any of the episodes.
No. And I think he really showed his true colors that for him, what Jamie mentioned it, for him, intimacy is sex. Yeah. And we come to the conclusion that intimacy for Keith is probably sex.
You saw the condoms that was there and the sex and all that. But he told Pastor Calvin it wasn't about the sex.
That's what he said. He said before he got to decision day, he said it in the room with the experts that would not play a major role in his decision, and he lied. You lied, Keith. You lied.
But I don't think it was necessarily a sex too. I think the cameras got to Keith. I think the cameras I think the cameras got to Keith. The decision got to Keith. His mama got to Keith because she wants to say what's happy. What is happy? Are you comfortable? He said everything nice about this young girl, about Iris. He said, I love her.
I'm attracted to her. I'm very attracted to her.
I got good things going for her.
She's got a kind heart.
We could be friends. You could be everything like that, but you can't be married to her. Now, mind you, in 8 weeks, they did everything together except for consummate their marriage. They were Iris's right to always say, which way you want to be, married or divorced. Maybe she felt that in Keith, that he wasn't really buying into her, that he really wasn't intimate with her. Maybe she was looking for that marriage to have a husband who was intimate with her, where he did the romantic dinner. He might have just rubbed her feet. He might have just massaged her back. He might have just came and kissed her on the neck or gave her some massages for no reason, brought her some flowers. Well, now, we didn't see that side of Keith, and so there was no intimate side of Keith from her. And right now, it's making her look like a genius because she didn't give up the goodies.
Right.
And he kind of divorced her, so it's like, I dodged that bullet from her.
Yeah, but she was like, and rightfully so, Iris was so optimistic and just happy and joyful when she says, I want to stay married. We have something. And Keith humming.
Keith sweating. He was sweating like he was
being
that slaughtered.
Ooh-wee. Like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Like a preacher on a hot Sunday morning.
I mean, it was like he couldn't even look at her, and he was like,
He gave her like 50 million compliments. I thought he was Greg for a minute.
Oh my!
He buttered her up.
My husband said, "Oh, it's here it go." He's buttering her up. He's buttering her up. So I knew it was coming too. But when I tell y'all I wanted to cry, I felt so bad for Iris. And unlike Matt and Amber, when it came time to leave, it's like, Keith was like really, they're hugging all the experts. And Keith's like really lingering. Like he wanted to say, I'm sorry again. Like, I'm sorry. Like he was really apologetic. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I had to break her heart. And they walked out the door together.
And then they stayed in the apartment together.
And they cut, all shoulder to shoulder with each other. And it's going to be hard not being in the house with you. It's going to be hard not sleeping in the bed with you. They both acknowledged that. And later at the barbecue, he says, everybody's like, is there a chance? And Keith's looking at Iris. Iris said, don't look at me. I'm the one that said yes. And Keith was like, you never know. This is how I felt. I felt like Keith should have been like, yes. Yes, I want to stay married. And give it those 2 extra months. And after those 2 extra months, if you still not feeling it, because he likes her. He likes her. He's attracted to her. They mesh well. Keith, for the draws? For the draws. Oh my gosh. For the panties, because you didn't get the panties. Come on.
For what we see.
And you was about to get them. I told you was this close to your miracle. You were this close to your breakthrough.
Look, for what we saw, he could have been like, that really may be important to him. And
I don't doubt it is.
But also, again, I go back to the man thing. If no man is teaching you and your mom is talking to you and she's telling you this and she's
but as a mother, I think she should, coming from a woman talking about a woman, she should have given him that perspective. She talked to him at all about my son. He's a mama's boy. And she all about my son. She couldn't cut them apron strings.
Yeah, she couldn't cut the strings, and Keith had to realize this, that you're married. He likes Iris. He looks even like the perception of people. But they also wanted to keep things in front of the camera. There's some things Iris just didn't want to do on camera, and I respect her for that. Yeah. There's some things that she wanted to hold to her moral standards and ground, and she did that. And now that may have alienated Keith because she didn't want to show that side of her on TV, because whether she worked with kids, he worked with kids, that's fine. They may not want to show that, but they could have communicated that, look, I'm doing this because of this, I'm doing that because of here. I think, as I mentioned earlier when we started talking about my thing's a resurrection, I think when we see the reunion next week, I think Keith and Iris are still together. I think Keith and Iris are together. I think when the cameras went away, Because even though they
probably just started dating. Like regular dating.
Because remember, they still married.
Right.
And so just because they said no on decision day, it's not like divorce papers were signed.
Right.
They didn't have any ill will to each other because we talked about the barbecue. What happened was after decision day, the couples had a barbecue at their apartment complex. Jamie and Elizabeth cooked, and all the couples came and they were invited. Iris got there before Keith. And Keith was natural. He was cool. He was sitting there eating, enjoying, rapping everybody else.
When Iris came down, they were like, "Hey, what was your decision?" She said, "I'll wait. And you can ask Keith when he gets here."
I like Iris because she was dignified throughout the show.
Some people may
not like that. Man. They may not understand. Like, I would have flipped tables. I would have threw things around.
Listen,
but Iris
personally, for real, the way Amber treated Matt, I'm telling you, me as Iris, sweet as I am, I'd be like, bruh, go ahead now. Don't talk to me. Go ahead. While we packing up stuff, go ahead now.
And they slept in the same bed together that night, so
I don't think they did.
I think they did.
I don't think
she was like the last time we sleep. I think he slept real tight on this side. She slept tight that side. In conversation, but
she was very nice. She was very
ladylike. She kept her
very
dignity.
dignified.
Now, when the cameras went away or there was no cameras, she might have cussed them. I don't know.
I don't think she did.
I don't think she did.
That's not her personality.
Now,
me on the other hand,
we're not going there. We're not going there. But I think Iris kept her dignity, and I like that about her. She stayed a woman. She stayed true to who she was, and I think because of who she stayed true to who she was, she didn't cuss him, she didn't fuss him, she didn't fight him, she didn't run him down. Even at the barbecue, even other couples were surprised that Keith just stood around. Even when they was getting on Matt, Keith was just eating whatever he was eating. Like, okay, they getting on him, not me. My turn is coming, but he still kept dignity too. They were still respectful. I am rooting for them to be together at the reunion. Now, maybe somebody who knows more than I do about the show, has there ever been a couple who say they was divorced but stay together? I don't think so. I haven't seen one neither, but this might be the first couple who actually said they're divorced on decision day will actually stay together.
I hope so. I don't even want to say I hope so. I would like to think that's going to happen. But, Keith, you just let me down. Your mama let me down.
Is Keith worse than Will?
No, I don't. Keith kind of is worse than Will, because Keith was very adamant about, I am attracted to her, I like her, I like us, and he still said no, like a dummy. Keith.
And he really didn't give her a reason neither, and that's what she said.
It was just relationship. You haven't had enough relationships. You're not enough experience with relationships and maturity there.
But to me, gotta look at it this way. Keith had to understand that even though she may not experience a lot of relationships, it's like a clay, and he's the potter. He had a chance to mold Iris into what he would like her to be.
Not in
a bad way, but she didn't come with a whole bunch of baggage for being in other relationships that was bad. She didn't come with all the other emotional ties.
He didn't have to compete with that.
And she didn't have to compete with the mess of having her sleeping with other people. He had a lot of things that he didn't have to compete with, that other people have to compete with. Come into relationship, and she had to compete with a lot. He was comparing to all the other women that he has messed with, slept with, dealt with, or whatever case may be.
But I thought he said he wanted to go about it different than he had before.
But when your friends are talking, your mama tell you on the day that she's a virgin, and then you have a young lady who, and you're not showing intimacy, and she doesn't know how to show intimacy, so it becomes a tug of war here. Who can be intimate first? That's why they had the classes and the struggles, and you want her to be intimate in this level, but she can't be because she's never been there. Let's think about even when you talk about what sexual position is her favorite, she's like, I've never had sexual position, so I don't want to say this one or that one because I don't know.
Right, but again, this goes back to what I was saying about his mom. As a mother, she should have been able, since he kept talking to her from a woman's perspective, let him know, unless it's not that way for her, but let her know for some, even if it's not that way for you, for a woman, you can say to your son, your nephew, a young man, that for a woman, you have to really get at her heart. You have to be intimate in other ways. It's not just about sex with women. Yeah. And I know she could tell that, obviously, because the girl was still a virgin. you could tell it's not about that with her. It's about getting to the heart. And I'm disappointed in his mom that she didn't give him from a woman's perspective. To me, she didn't give that at all.
Yeah, it didn't give it from one perspective, and he could have did a lot of other things to woo Iris. At this barbecue, the girls gave it a man.
She must not have never been romanced.
Dad looked like he was smooth talking, but they gave it to Matt at this barbecue. Deonna was like, "Okay, Matt,
Ooh.
and what?" She was giving him the shade, like, "What you gonna say? What you gonna do? You treated this girl, you humiliated this girl, you did this, that, and other. You could have called it quits. Why didn't you call it quits?"
Oh, that's the one thing that Amber said in the end too. She was like, "I'm mad because when you had the chance to call it quits, you didn't." She said, "I should have called it quits. I should have done it. I took more off of him than I probably would have if I wasn't in this experiment. And you hurt me. You broke me down. You broke me down." And they lit into him at the barbecue, and rightfully so. And he was like, I mean, it's a closed chapter for me. I mean, he was so... Oh, he was such a butt.
He was cold. He was ready to move.
He was such a butt.
But you gotta realize that's what he used to do. When one door closes, it's time to move to the next city. It's time to go to the next basketball team. It's time to move on.
But you could tell he absolutely had no emotions tied up in it.
Not anymore, because he closed the chapter.
Period.
I think he felt he was kind of hurt that she did him wrong by saying no. I think
the nerve of him.
I think he really felt.
The nerve of him.
I really think he felt some type of way when she was like, "I don't want to be married to you no more." I really do. I mean, he was like, if you go back and look at his demeanor when she like no, he like, oh. But he felt like she owed him something, and she didn't owe him anything, and
nothing.
And he just walked out and left. He left everybody there, and there was nobody in his corner. Jamie was upset at him, and Greg don't say too much, but you know.
But Greg was looking like,
dude, did you really treat her like that? Like, dang, dude.
But he also looked at Keith like that too. Like,
he was disappointed in Keith.
Come on.
Like everybody thought they was together too. Everybody thought Iris and Keith would stay together. From what they saw, Elizabeth said what we saw on the outside was like there was no
way
she
was like, I don't know what happened behind closed doors, but when we saw them, I mean, they looked like a real loving and happy couple, a nice match. They looked good together.
So we got 2 couples that was married. 2 couples that stayed married out of this experiment. 2. And
two we said Deonna and Greg, obviously, but I think we've said all along too that they probably Elizabeth and Jamie probably would stay together. We said that they probably would stay together, and they didn't disappoint. I'm so glad Amber got some cojones. I'm so glad.
But I think Amber ended up falling on her feet. I think there's gonna be a lot of guys out there who try to talk to Amber. I think Amber does well. She learned a lot and she grown from this. So I think Amber will do well. If you want to do Married at First Sight, what they should do is take people who's already been married before or Married at First Sight.
They did.
And try to match them up. I mean,
they did.
Match them up again.
They did.
I know they need to do that again.
Yeah, they've been Married at First Sight.
I think Amber needs second chances.
I
think Amber needs a second chance.
But she's got bad reputation going into there, so you gotta make sure you put her with somebody that ain't gonna try to take advantage,
Yeah.
But all in all, it was a good season. We
got the reunion show next week. I'm interested.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'm thinking that the reunion show for Matt is gonna go a little bit like it did for Luke.
Yeah, Matt's gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna pick him apart, and he ain't gonna want to have it, which that sucks because, dude, we deserve. You need to explain yourself.
Only one question for Matt.
On the hot seat.
One question for Matt. Who's the girl? That's one question. Who's the girl, and are you still with her? Those 2 questions. Yeah. Who's the girl, and are you still with her?
He's not still with her.
And and Matt.
He can't be with one person.
And the question for Keith: are you and Iris still together?
I'm interested to see.
And those are questions that people want to know. Are they still together? Man, we had a great season. We're gonna do a reunion show next week, but we want to know for you, what would you like to see us review next? I'm itching. Can't wait till January 1st with a new episode.
Oh my gosh.
We need something else. We need something else to review. So we got a couple things, but we want to hear from you. What would you like to see us review next? Would you just like to see us do marriage questions and your Q&As or whatever you want? Please let us know in the comment section. What would you like to see us review next? But we're going to do the reunion show next week. Oh man, Married at First Sight. Been a good season. Very good season. I thank you for all your comments, everything, and
thank you,
and for helping this channel grow.
Y'all been so active.
Thank you for subscribing. And we try to answer everybody. If we didn't get to you, we will get to you.
Yes.
And once again, our favorite couple, Deonna and Greg, this year.
Yay.
Couple that was surprised by was Iris and Keith. Really surprised by Iris and Keith. Got Matt and Amber correct.
Ding.
And new Jamie.
Gold star for Marcus.
New
if you know where that's from.
New Jamie and Elizabeth are gonna be together because Chris Rock said it. If you crazy, you need to be with somebody that's crazy.
Yep.
So hey, all in all, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching the Jack and Glenn channel. See y'all next week. See you next week. Bye.
For the reunion. Woo.
Reunion show coming up.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye.